And how does K-State, number one in the BCS, get beat 52-24? I understand they play no defense in that conference.
It
is the running theme of this league in the Big 12 that they play zero defense. If you need your defense to show up, you better send them there a week in advance because they're not showing up on game time. I can tell you that.
No, they're not. And I couldn't believe
choked.
They
even admit
Baylor
the pressure
them.
got to them. How do you come out and say that too? Like, oh yeah, I think the pressure being number one could have. So what? Do you not want to be number one in the nation? Do you not have a self?
I don't think. I think
kids,
that's why they said it.
When I was a kid, I would die to be number one. I wanted to be number one at anything and everything I could be number one at, and I was never number one at anything. But I wanted to be number one. I wanted to strive to be that guy.
I'm just saying. I think that's why they said it. I don't. That's no excuse to choke under the pressure of it. But I think that's why they would even own up and say it. I think they didn't really think that one through. I'm a little surprised that they did what they did. Colin Klein didn't play that well. I think he threw 2 interceptions. They contained him in the
Manziel's now got to
pocket.
be the leader for the Heisman. I threw that in on the fan page last night, a little article that I found on CBS about how pretty much everybody else is really falling out of the race, and it's down to pretty much him and Monte Teo. But the thing is do you give it to a redshirt freshman, which the voters don't like to do, or do you give it to a guy on defense, which the voters hate to do?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like pick your poison.
Odds have it they don't do either one. I wouldn't be surprised at all if they decide not to do either one, to be completely honest with you. What I will say, though, is I was extremely surprised. We could work our way through this because there are numerous games from this past Saturday that I want to talk about. And since we're already talking about K-State, we'll stay with K-State. When you look at how that game went, it's not like K-State was in it and then Baylor slowly pulled away because Kansas State was making mistakes. Baylor owned that game from the beginning of it till the end of it. They owned it. They wanted it more. It was a situation that I did not see coming. I thought this Kansas State team was going to step up. I'm not saying I expected them to win by 50, but I did expect them to win. I figured they'd win by at least 2 possessions.
Blown out.
Dominated from beginning to end. It literally went from the beginning of the game to the end of the game.
If you're number one team in the nation, how do you give up 52 points? And they were supposed to have the best defense in the conference. They were supposed to be the one team in the conference that played defense.
And instead,
52 points.
Baylor.
Unranked Baylor.
52.
No RG3 Baylor.
No RG3 Baylor.
This ain't your RG3 Baylor team. It's not.
No, it's not yet. They look like it, sort of. Kansas State helped them a lot, but that's for sure. Look, I don't know, man. I was shocked on this one. Do you really think that that's what did it to them? Do you think the pressure of being number one got to K-State? Do you think Colin Klein and that team just couldn't handle that pressure of being number one? Because if
they couldn't handle it. No, they absolutely couldn't.
Well,
they came out and showed it. They
did the country a favor. Agree or disagree? They did the country a favor. Because the last thing you want is a team that couldn't handle being number one and going to the national championship game. Because they would have just got crushed and it would have been one of the most boring and disappointing games you ever watched.